So Illinois thinks that, oh man, we gotta stop crime, so we gotta do the most important thing in the world. We gotta go after violent video games like Grand Theft Auto. We gotta ban it because it'll stop the crime. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So, here we are yet again with another dumb attempt to try to say that video games create violence when they don't. Right here with this article, ban Grand Theft Auto video game to combat carjackings, Illinois lawmaker says. This is so stupid. Oh, this article right here, it's a complete clown show. So take a look at this. An Illinois lawmaker wants to ban the sale of violent video games, including the popular Grand Theft Auto series. The bill filed by Rep. Marcus Evans Jr. is in response to a recent increase in carjackings in Chicago, which he attributes to Grand Theft Auto, according to media reports. He does not name GTA in the bill, but he singled it out during a press conference Monday. It's so dumb. And Chicago's had bad crime for years. I mean, this is dumb. Evans said the Chicago area is suffering from activities promoted in video games, according to the Chicago Sun-Times. Chicago police responded to 218 reports of carjackings last month in January, the Sun-Times reported. Grand Theft Auto and other violent video games are getting in the minds of our young people and perpetuating the normalcy of carjacking. What? What? This is so bad. Okay, boomer. Evans said, according to WLS. Carjacking is not normal and carjacking must stop. So apparently, Grand Theft Auto, in this person's mind, is what is causing carjacking. That's so stupid. Oh, man. Video games do not create violence, but yet here we are again with another attempt to say that, oh video games are bad, man. They're so bad. They're corrupting the minds of the youth. More like, maybe the leaders are just so stupid that they want to say that, oh, video games are bad, when that's not even the problem at all. They just don't even focus on what the actual problem is at hand, and they don't try to take care of the crime. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's the problem instead. Maybe they should be focusing more on how to solve the crime rather than, oh, we got to get rid of the video games. I feel like this game has become a huge issue in the spectrum, said community activist Early Walker. Oh, of course, community activist, of course. Who said, with Evans, according to the Sun-Times, when you compare the two, you see harsh similarities as it relates to these carjackings. God. You see, this is what I'm talking about. These people don't play video games. They don't understand it. Instead, what they do is they go around and they notice that people are enjoying them. So they put the blame on the video game, saying that it's the corruption. It's brainwashing our kids. You know, that's basically what they're doing with this. I mean, you know, we've seen this multiple times over many years, how they try to say that video games are bad, create violence, when in fact we obviously know that that's not true. They never present any evidence proving this, which, you know, goes to show how stupid they are, because they always try to say that, oh, well, it happens. It's the cause. It's the problem. It's the violence. And then you're like, okay, well, where's the proof? And then they just say, well, it's right there. This is it. And I mean, you'll see many of these articles try to say that it does create the violence, but there's nothing to present that. There's no evidence that they have to back up their claims. And so, you know, this has been something we've seen for many, many years. I mean, you go back to the 90s when they were trying to say that Mortal Kombat was bad, right? You know, they tried to say that, or like how they tried to say that Pokemon was satanic, you know, that it was evil. But, you know, like I said, nothing to support that. It was just them trying to say that something that people enjoyed was terrible, or that it was a bad thing, or that it convinced people to do terrible deeds, when, like I said, nothing to present that. Just something they came up with because it's something that people enjoyed. So, you know, you just see the same thing constantly from these articles that never give you the proof, because there is no proof to back up what they're saying. And if you do the research, you'll find that there's tons of articles that disprove that video games create violence. Like that, they're not the cause. And you can take a look at this article here. Now, of course, I don't agree with PBS's stance on politics. I do not agree with them at all, or what they've said recently. But what I will say is that this article here was actually a pretty good one in terms of showing that video games do not create violence. Like this, for example, where it comes down to them talking about how, the video game industry that teaches young people to kill. Republican House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy of California went on a condemn video games that dehumanize individuals as a problem for future generations. Now, obviously, that's not true, because if that were the case, then you'd be seeing it all the time. You could make the same argument for other forms of entertainment like movies and TV shows. You could say that, oh, well, that could be violent, but that doesn't prove anything. That doesn't make someone violent, and that's what this article here states, that it does not create violence. But speaking as a researcher who has studied violent video games for almost 15 years, I can state that there is no evidence to support these claims that violent media and real-world violence are connected. As far back as 2011, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that research did not find a clear connection between violent video games and aggressive behavior. Criminologists who study mass shootings specifically refer to these sorts of connections as a myth, and in 2017, the Media Psychology and Technology Division of the American Psychological Association released a statement I helped craft, suggesting reporters and policymakers cease linking mass shootings to violent media given the lack of evidence for a link. But of course, you're going to hear the mainstream media go, oh, well, it's terrible, whenever you know it's not, which is really annoying. But this is what they do. They use video games as the scapegoat to say that this is the problem, when it's in fact not the problem at all. And many people play video games to escape their problems. That's the point of entertainment and escapism. And, they play video games and it will even decrease stress. I mean, people have actually felt a lot better after playing video games. It helps them escape those problems that they experience in the real world. But this is a very crucial part right here. Beginning in the early 2000s, some scholars, anti-media advocates, and professional groups like the APA began working to connect a methodologically mess and often contradictory set of results to public health concerns about violence. This echoed historical patterns of moral panic, such as 1950s concerns about comic books and Tipper Gore's efforts to blame pop and rock music in the 1980s for violence, sex, and satirism. Particularly in the early 2000s, dubious evidence regarding violent video games was uncritically promoted, but over the years, confidence among scholars that violent video games influence aggression or violence has crumbled. Exactly, because it doesn't. It does not create violence. And it's one of the most ridiculous things that you'll see a lot of people that don't understand video games try to come up with to try to say that, oh, well, it created the violence. It did it. It did it. It doesn't. I mean, spikes in violent video games popularity are well known to correlate with substantial declines in youth violence, not increases. And that's the thing. Video games, it doesn't increase violence in youth. So when you see where you have these boomers that are over here saying that video games are awful, we got to ban them because violent depictions are making them do bad things. No, it's not. I mean, and this is what I mean by they try to come up with this bullshit science that isn't true, to where they try to deflect from what the real issue is, and they try to throw that at video games to say that that's what the problem actually is, when it's not. I mean, this is what I mean. Like, if anything, it just seems like, for one, you have these boomers that don't understand video games. They don't understand gamers because they don't do it themselves, and so they have to go to whatever's popular and attack it. And look, if video games were really causing this to happen, then we would have seen it a long time ago. This would have been going on everywhere, all the time, every day, but that's not the case. And for any people like these politicians, these senators, whatever, that think that video games actually cause violence, well, they're the idiots, because it doesn't. Video games does not cause violence, and it's been proven time and time again that it doesn't. And I mean, you can look it up and see that it's been proven that video games do not cause violence. And to see a lawmaker think that this is the way to go and try to ban games, well, that's just so stupid. But anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you were new here, and make sure you were still subscribed, because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels. So make sure you were still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media, spread the word, and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the news videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on Discord. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.